Hey Google, front lights on.
Sure, turning on two outlets.
So, since I'm kind of restarting this whole YouTube thing, it's not like anybody know my past apartments and where I've stayed, but this year I've moved in with my partner, Mecayla, and we now live somewhere else in Toronto. Today, I'm just gonna give you a little tour of our little space here that we've created. Mostly shout out to her because most of the stuff was her taste. I've provided some insight, like this couch here, the shelf there, and also the smart lights. Yeah, give a vibe of what our current situation now, and excited to show you guys finally a spot for all of my camera shit. Let's go. Hey Google, front lights off. So this is my office. This we're gonna be doing a lot of editing. Pretty much all kind of work is gonna be here. And this is our second part of the apartment. I do love this house. We definitely have space, and in terms of Toronto pricing, it's somewhat affordable. And yeah, so obviously desk. Hey Google, desk on.
Got it, turning on desk.
Just to have more light. Shit ton of hard drives. I got what? How many? One, two, three, four, five. Five SSDs, two hard drives in the back, and yeah, a print from Japan. Hey Google, piano on. This is the other half. Moving on. This is part of the kitchen here. Very spacious, but at the same time, especially for the kitchen, we had to bring this little thing here, and there wasn't much shelving spots for the utensils and plates and shit. So, yeah. So, we're pretty much entering my favorite new spot of the spot. And that's because, little backstory, my brothers and I all used to live together for a very long time. I love sharing space with them, but you know, life goes on, and we all got our new spots now, which is dope. And we got this place, and it was a 2 bedroom. We were able to make it work. Now it is a storage slash video room slash practice room slash whatever I want it to be kind of room. It's really nice to have a space for all my equipment because I have a lot. I'm low-key hoarder and addicted to gear, but you know, we make it work. We make it work. This is the spot. I'll show you a different angle. So what we have here is a shit ton of photography, videography shit. To be honest, I didn't know what kind of video I wanted to make this week. And to be honest, I'm also hella late with this video. But here we are. Someone recommended what kind of gear I'm rocking, so I'm gonna be doing a show and tell. What it do? My name is Jarek, also known as Anyo, and today we're doing gear shit. So you already saw this in the last video, but this is my Blackmagic 6K Pro. And I actually wanted to do like, yo, since I don't use it as much in the real world, I wanted to like, oh, like record pretty much everything like this kind of video with this camera. I love this camera, but this thing doesn't have autofocus. So when I'm trying to do videos like this, I kind of need to rely on the autofocus so that I am still in focus. That kind of shit, you know? Tried to use this for the new month, and it was difficult as hell. If I'm not behind it, I don't really know what to look at. I don't really know what it's gonna look like. So yeah, I reverted back to the XH2S because it's reliable, shoots 6.2K, and I do like this aspect ratio. So we're gonna stick with this camera for a long time. It's alright, had to switch my microphone thing because it died. I guess I can talk about the specs of this, but I really don't like talking about specs. 6K. The reason why it looks like this is because, again, Blackmagic, as the previous video, you have to kind of rig it up. I love and hate this camera so much because of all the rigging that that it requires for this. This is my lightweight build, kind of wonky because I shoot on an SSD rather than a CFast card or like micro SD cards because it's not enough space, and this is fast enough so that you can shoot 6K no problem. I have a the Sony fat batteries on this thing. And the reason why I opt out for that is because the smallest way I can do this possible. I know there's possible ways to do it with like a V-mount battery, but I don't really like doing that. It's because it's the size. And reason why I like this camera, this Fuji X-H2S so much is because of the size. The punch that it packed is amazing. Shoots f-log. Anyways, I'm rambling, but it's about Blackmagic. Shoots B-raw, only video. It says it's like a hybrid because it shoots photos, but no one ever uses this as for a photo camera. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong for the people that use this for a photo. You're wildin', but cool, I guess. Speaking of photos, not recently, but I've had this camera for a while now, and I love every part of it. A little backstory: I like to shoot film. I like the look of film, and I used to have the Mamiya RB67. That was a really fun camera to use. I only used it for like 4 shoots, and reason why is because the last shoot I did, I shot 4 rolls of 120 film and got it developed. Only 2 images came out. 1 roll of 120, you can shoot 12 images on it. So I would have at least 48 images that's supposed to come with it. Only 2 of them came out. So as much as I love shooting film and I love the process because of how slow you shoot, and for me, I shoot a lot of like events and fast moving stuff because of breaking. Yeah, that was tough to see only having 2 images. So I decided to sell all of my film stuff and decided to get the Fujifilm GFX 50S. Now, this is one of the first versions of medium format that they have. It's affordable-ish. I got it for like 32, something like that, 3200 with the lens that's supposed to come with it. Yeah, I mean, it's a really good camera. I love medium format look. I love for me, this is the closest thing to shooting actual film. I know, don't hate me film photographers, but that's just how I feel, just because of the slowness, the color, the detail that you get. The first time shooting with this, I was shooting really far away, and I shot somebody like in a field, and I was able to still crop in and get amazing detail off this camera. And I know the GFX 100 the second is out, but guess what? I got that shit on lock too. As I mentioned before, I am one of the winners for the Fujifilm GFX Challenge of 2023. Huge congrats to everybody that won and also participated. And for the people that tried, please try again, because they are amazing people. And this video is no way sponsored by them, but just by working with them the last couple weeks, it's been amazing, and they've been great people and just been very supportive of the project. Shout out to Fujifilm Canada. And I got the GFX 100 the second, the 55 1.7 on this. It's crazy because also the size of this already, the older one is a lot bigger. Not a lot, but it's bigger compared to the GFX 100 the second. This thing is almost, I mean, actually I would say as fast, don't quote me on this, not scientifically anyways, it feels like it's as fast as the camera that I'm using right now for video, which is the X-H2S. How many times I'm going to say this? I use this camera particularly for mostly like hybrid shooting. So a lot of like if I'm doing photo video work at the same time, which is a lot of events, unfortunately, it's great because how versatile I can, just one press of a button, I can go from photo to video with the same settings that I use. So it's not difficult to use. It's really, really good. And I love this camera. Anyways, but this camera is just crazy. First of all, 100 megapixels. This has 50, and the camera right now has 26, I believe. And the images that I get from this photo-wise is amazing. But this, holy, it's crazy. There's that medium format look that everyone talks about if you get into like camera world. And also the more you shoot, the more you kind of notice it. But for me, after seeing first of all, after even shooting with this alone was really great. Then after shooting with this, crazy. Shout out to Fujifilm. Thank you for lending me this camera for a bit, because obviously for the GFX challenge. But yeah, you guys fucking rock. Yeah. So I pretty much tried almost, and except for Nikon, but almost every camera brands out there. Originally a Sony shooter, went to Canon. I think everyone's first camera was like the Canon Rebel T3i. Shout out to that. After that camera, and I kind of went down like a Canon rabbit hole. You know, got your first full frame, which is the 5D Mark II. Anyway, so on, so on. Went back to Sony, which was like the Sony A7 A6400, and then went back to Canon. As much as I love playing around with these cameras and switching systems, I'm done with it. I think I found the perfect system, which is the Fuji, because one, testament of that, I have like 4 Fujifilm cameras. Except for, 4 because I have the 100 right now. But I have 4 of these, and what started off was is the X100V before the rise of it from TikTok and the overpricing of it, which is ridiculous. I got this when it was at least around 1800. You know, even then when I bought it, I thought it was crazy, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. It was also my birthday, and I was like, I'm gonna treat myself. This was 3 years ago. After literally using it for a month, I couldn't get enough of it. I pretty much stopped using the Canon during that time. I love this because of the portability, the size, the quality that you shoot with it. And whenever I shoot with this in my other point and shoot camera, I always shoot with JPEG, and it's amazing. I love editing, but I also hate editing because I don't like to edit. I like to shoot more, get out there and shoot whatever. I'd rather be outside and be a part of the thing that I'm shooting rather than. And I know editors are important and, you know, to have a good look and whatever, but also I'm not a great editor, not gonna lie. I like to color my shit, but I'm not really a great editor. But anyways, yeah, this is what started everything. I guess the biggest thing about this, the reason why I love it, is because of the color. The fixed lens is actually sick. I saw this comment one time on my last video. Someone talking about interchangeable lenses, the more options you have. But I feel like I'd rather just have this because at least it's one go. Like you kind of have to be creative in what you. If you want to get a wide, you need to step the hell back. If you want to get a close up, you need to go really close. So with this camera, it's kind of just one limitations I feel like for me is where creativity dwells. With that makes you a better photographer. I'm not saying like that's the only thing you need to know, which is limitations, but I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned as a photographer to make you better. Alright, going down the path of point and shoots cameras after finding this, I heard the king of street photography camera, you can tell how much I love gear, is this tiny little thing, which is I talked about in another video, my last video. And I do love this camera, don't get me wrong. I feel like the best quality about this camera, again, is the size and also the image stabilization, because I can shoot 1/16 of it and like have everything blurry. I don't need a tripod for it. I wish I'd had that for this, because if I had image stabilization on this, game over. The fact that it's also f2, this is f2.8. I love the 35mm lens, but this is a lot wider. But again, the image stabilization on this is really dope, and the colors are this one really nice. But to be honest, you can't compare to this camera. It's really fucking dope. But yeah, that's all my camera gear so far. And as much as I have all these gears, you know, one, I'm blessed to have all this, and also I've done my time with, you know, with photography. I've been doing this for a long time. Since I do it professionally, I kind of need these equipment. You know, as much as it's like so much to look at, I've used all of them, and they have their purposes and they have their job to do. Again, at the end of the day, they're just tools. So one thing, the way I look at them as well, is that if I enjoy shooting with them, then at least, you know, I'm still curious about being a photographer and whatever it means. There's so many avenues to take as a photographer, you know, like editorial shooter, fashion shooter, portrait. You know, there's also a lot more like event photography and all that stuff. For me, I just love shooting, and I love the idea to create and also capture moments and whatever. But I feel like I just love everything about it, and just, you know, the idea of capturing something with this tiny thing or the big things that I have is really dope. Even though it's a gear video, don't get too wrapped up in gear, because I've been in that path. That's why I've also switched so many times. If anything, look for something that will work for you. Don't worry about anybody else, because everyone will always just constantly spout the idea of like, this is a better camera, this is whatever, this is better in many ways, so on and so forth. But with newer things also comes with newer problems. It's not gonna be just, oh, you get this new camera is gonna be the perfect camera, because it's not. It's never gonna be the perfect camera. This compared to this, which one will be a better camera for the job? So yeah, I finally done the tour. I've been wanting to make a video about our place because we moved out couple months back. Finally having a space to shoot this kind of videos is kind of, again, I'm very happy for that, because I've been wanting to make this YouTube videos for so long. I've just never had the space, because I've never had the courage to shoot it in the living room when other people are around. Even now, I had to wait for my girlfriend to get the hell out in order to shoot this video. So hopefully I get better. But yeah, this is the space. This is my equipment. This is me. Bye. Like, subscribe, I guess. And see you next week. Peace.